What is NASA trying to hide from the public? Recently, NASA had to shut down a live feed when an unidentified object was sighted approaching the International Space Station. Has the U.S. government been in contact with aliens? Scientific studies and research indicate that our knowledge of the universe is still limited to only about 4%. The rest is an unknown vastness believed to be full of particles, dark energy, dark matter, several other planets, and probably a kind of civilization that is yet unknown to our species. The International Space Station is an attestation of how far we have come as the most advanced species in the solar system. It is a hallmark of human advancement in technology operated by top scientists and researchers as well as engineers from 5 organizations in cooperation across the world, with a common interest in researching space and its surroundings. Scientists on the station make findings and conduct data analysis in the course of investigating the known universe for signs of an intelligent civilization. Following years of relentless searching, scientists have eventually found sophisticated extraterrestrial objects within the solar system. What is the nature of these strange objects? Will their discovery change anything about life on Earth as we know it? Let us find out by taking a look at how these alien objects were sighted in space. There are numerous planets within our cosmos. There is even more we are yet to discover. These planets all have features that characterize them. Scientists have the aim of finding out about each one simultaneously. The intensity of scientific space research has witnessed a dramatic increase in the last few decades, with the hope of finding another civilization apart from ours somewhere out there, growing every year. There has been an increase in reports of extraterrestrial sightings in circulation since the later years of the 1940s. A record reveals that an estimate of over 9,000 cases of strange objects seen in the sky have been reported. The reports have drawn global attention and interest. The cultural impact of the reports has even led to the practice of wearing alien costumes during Halloween, a proof of how popular the belief in these beings are. These strange sightings drive the imaginations of even Hollywood, who now feature concepts about aliens in their movies. The alarming increase in the reports also made the idea of an international space station a reality. The idea of an international space station was birthed when 5 space agencies combined efforts to act concertedly. The unified goal behind the project is to find out about the universe and explore its expansive reach. The building and launching of the space station became realized as a result of the cooperation of the space agencies, including the National Aeronautics and Space Administration of the United States, the Roscosmos of Russia, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. They all came together to build a microgravity research lab with a lot of specific experiments in astronomy, meteorology, astrobiology, physics, and so on. The space station is also renowned for running tests on equipment and spacecraft and inventions assigned for use on long-term voyages to the Moon and for exploring planets like Mars in the future. Furthermore, the International Space Station is engaged in the search for signs of alien life and other phenomena in outer space. Right from its inception, the International Space Station has researched so much about these supposedly intelligent species. Now, after years of effort, their research is starting to become fruitful. Expectedly, assertions about contact with UFOs are starting to make rounds, but the government and NASA seem to be making frantic attempts to hide the information from the public. The International Space Station sends live feeds from space back to Earth at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration for more research. Communication between astronauts on the space station and scientists and engineers stationed on Earth, including confirmation of test results and live feed, usually finds its way to the public through radio and television broadcasts. The legendary Apollo 2 missions of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's landing on the Moon on July 21, 1969, which was globally broadcast, is an instance of such a live feed. Over time, the technological advancements and explorations of the International Space Stations are being followed through the live feed. Somewhere along, there have been discoveries of things that NASA is trying to hide from the public. UFO believers have reasons to believe this because of similar activities they've seen on the International Space Station live feed. The said live stream comes from the satellite's camera out in space and is always available to people on Earth to view what life outside the planet looks like. In 2015, NASA was broadcasting a live feed from the camera of the International Space Station, giving a view of space around the space station. But the live stream was suddenly disrupted. This was shocking as well as surprising to many of the viewers, who were wondering what could have gone wrong with the station's camera. But they couldn't figure out what could have interrupted the live feed. However, just before the abrupt termination of the live feed, there was a strange object that appeared to be moving over the Earth's horizon. It was after this object was caught on the screen that the live feed was interrupted for over 10 seconds before the camera came back on. This object did not escape the notice of Toby Lund, a UFO watcher and alien hunter. He captured the object and took a closer look at it. After a closer review, he declared that the object looked like a Starfleet insignia from Star Trek, then went ahead to share the image on the internet. This wouldn't be the only alien object noticed in space. Some weeks after, a YouTuber known as StreetCap1 reported something similar, making it the second time in a month that a UFO was sighted. This second instance was also seen on the International Space Station live feed as UFO watchers intensified their watch after Toby's discovery. They saw an object of a dark shade rising over the horizon just for it to vanish. While viewers were still wondering what might have happened, they discovered NASA switched the live feed to another camera facing another part of the space station. Yet another strange object was noticed on October 7th of the same year, when a couple of astronauts from the International Space Station were getting ready to go on a spacewalk. However, after some analysis of the clip, it was realized that the strange object was not what it was believed to be. It was concluded that it was probably a lens flare from the sun or a dust particle. But these were not convincing enough. While some experts explained that the first sighting could have been a technical error, judging by the way the camera was shut off, there is still insufficient explanation for the dark objects observed in the live feed. No official comment has been made by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in response to these sightings and hypotheses. It seems somewhat mysterious that even till now, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration has not made any attempt to either disprove or confirm these assertions, whether they are true or false. A professor at the Department of Physics of the Imperial College, London, said in an interview with Mail Online that UFO sightings can be explained using the artifact effect. According to him, they could be some space junk and can be left unexplained since there is not enough evidence to back up the assumptions flying around. It would be somewhat difficult to ascertain the contents of the videos given the poor quality of the videos. If NASA had access to high-quality images from the live feed, investigating the sightings further would be much easier. Notwithstanding, the live feed from the International Space Station is now an important source of evidence for UFO believers. It has also become a premise for conspiracy theories about NASA and what the International Space Station might be keeping a secret. Despite their skepticism, scientists have studied the reports of sightings several times and concluded that the reports of UFO sightings are probably symptoms of a psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia. This is a condition that makes the mind notice patterns in vague locations when there is nothing. Nigel Watson, who wrote the book UFO Investigation Manual, responded to questions by Mail Online on pareidolia and UFO sightings. He concludes that the more NASA tries to ignore or deny the reports, the more they are going to gain ground and the more people are going to believe there is a conspiracy to cover up the existence of aliens in our world. The big question that remains unanswered is whether NASA has had contact with an advanced civilization, and if they have, why is it being concealed from the public? Recently, NASA announced that it will begin research on unidentified aerial phenomenons, or UAPs. The total budget for this study is put at $100,000, and around 10 expert scientists are expected to work on it. Whether this proves the existing conspiracies and reports remains to be seen. What is your opinion about the existence of aliens or any intelligent life outside of our planet? Do you think our species is in contact with these advanced civilizations? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe so you don't miss our next upload. It promises to be intriguing. And give this video a thumbs up if you love space exploration.